Welcome to two-step algebra. So let's take a look at this question over here. Negative 2v plus 6 equals 13. So first we're going to write out what we know. We know SAMDEP. So when we're solving algebra equations, which basically means equations that have a variable, we want this v to be alone. We want it to be completely by itself. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look to see if there's any subtractions or additions. And yes, there is one right here. So to cancel an addition, you subtract, right? So then here, this will be gone. And then we'll be left with negative 2v equals 7. Okay? So now we want v to be completely by itself. And how do we cancel a negative 2 multiplied by a v? Equals 7. We would divide it by negative 2, so this negative 2 cancels out. And what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So this you divide by negative 2. So v equals 7 over negative 2, which is just negative 7 over 2. So the reason I'm writing negative 7 over 2 is because usually we like to have this negative to be on the top. Just it's standard notation for mathematics. But yeah, it doesn't really matter where you have it. It could be on the top, it could be on the bottom. You could even just write it like negative 7 over 2 like that. But yeah. Okay. Usually it's preferred to be like this with a negative on the top. Okay. So 7 minus n equals 12, or negative 12. So let's write out SAMDEB, S-A-M-D-E-B. So first we're going to see if there's any subtractions or additions, and yes, there is one over here. So how do we get rid of this 7? We subtract 7 from both sides, so we're left with minus n equals minus 19, negative 19. And then minus n is the same as writing negative 1 times n equals negative 19. So you can divide negative 1 from both sides. Then and this cancels. We're left with negative 19 over negative 1. These negatives will cancel, which becomes just 19. Okay? So the reason that okay, you might be wondering why I didn't do this. Let me show you. 7 minus n equals negative 12, and then I add n to both sides. But the thing is, we want n to be completely by itself, right? Then this would be like equally as complicated. We didn't really do anything. We didn't really solve anything there. So that's why we just want n to be completely by itself. So first we would take away the 7 from both sides and then da-da-da-da. Okay? Here, m over 8 plus 4 equals 7. So let's take a look at SAMDEB here. Dev. Okay. So first we're going to see if there's a subtraction or addition, and yes there is. There's this over here, so we're going to cancel it by taking minus 4. What you do on one side, you have to do on the other, so this cancels. This becomes m over 8 equals 7 minus 4, which is just 3. And then you can, so we have m over 8 equals 3. And then to get rid of m over 8, this is the same as writing m times 1 over 8 equals 3. So then we can multiply both sides by the reciprocal. 8 over 1 times 8 over 1. This cancels here. Then we're left with m equals 3 times 8 over 1, which is 3 over 1 times 8 over 1, which is 3 times 8 over 1, which is 24. Okay? Let's take a look at this next question. Okay, so start out with writing SAMDEB. S-A-M-D-E-B. Okay, so first we're going to look to see if there's any subtractions and additions. You might be tempted to look over here and say, oh, there's an addition right there. But take a closer look. This is actually in a bracket. Okay, so, and brackets will be at the end, right? So we're not going to take a look at this bracket until after we deal with whatever comes first, which is in this case the multiplication. Okay, multiplication in this case will come before this bracket over here. So first we'll do this one, and then second we'll do this one. Okay, first. Okay, so how do we undo multiplication? We will divide by 2, and what you do to one side, you do to the other. These 2's cancel. This becomes 3 plus b. Oh, there's no need to write an equal sign here, actually. 3 plus b equals 5 over 2. And then to solve for b, we're going to want to take away this 3. Then we want to take away the 3 from this side as well. And then b equals 5 over 2 minus 3. And then, making the common denominator, it's 5 over 2 minus 6 over 2, which is negative 1 over 2. And so b equals negative 1 over 2. Okay? I think there's like 2 more questions. Okay. B plus 4 divided by 2 equals 8. So what we're going to do here is we're going to want to undo this division. Okay? To undo a division, wait, first I should write out SEMDO actually. S, A, M, D, E, B. Just erase that. 1 sec. Okay. So, first we're going to look to see if there's an addition or subtraction, and there is one in a bracket, but brackets go at the end, right? So there's no subtraction or addition. Is there a multiplication and division? Yes, there is. So we're going to first undo that. So to undo a division, what do? You do a multiplication. So you multiply this side by 2 and this side by 2. Okay? And that undoes the division. So b plus 4 equals 16, because 8 times 2 is 16. Once I know, a denominator. 8 plus 2 is 16. So then you subtract 4 from both sides. To get rid of this 4, b equals 12. And I'm going to do this one more time, just in a different method. So b plus 4 divided by 2 equals 8. And I could rewrite this as b plus 4 over 2, because divided by 2 and over 2 is the same thing, equals 8. Now to undo this, I can multiply by the reciprocal. Let me make this a bit more clear. So I can separate this into b plus 4 over 1 times 1 over 2, right? Because b plus 4 over 2 is the same as writing it like this, equals 8. Now I can multiply by the reciprocal of 1 over 2. So multiply by 2 over 1 from this side, and 2 over 1 on this side. And then, oh yeah, and if you remember, this dot means multiply, right? So now you can see this and this can cancel because we're multiplying. And so we're left with b plus 4 equals 8 times 2 over 1. This is a 1 here. And we can forget about this bracket over here because there's nothing else to solve besides the b plus 4. And so b plus 4 equals 16. And subtract 4 from both sides to get b by itself. And then b equals 16 minus 4, which is 12. Okay. I think there's one more question. Okay. 2x plus 3x equals 5. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to join this together. So think about it for a second. Say I have 2 2's and 3 more 2's. That would be 5 2's, right? And I'll just prove this here. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 times 2 is 6, which is 10, and then 5 times 2 is also 10, okay? So what this means is if 2 of something plus 3 of something is the same as 5 of that something, then I can just write this as 5x. Okay? So what this basically means is 2x plus 3x equals 5. I can write this as 5x equals 5. And I can divide 5 from both sides to get rid of that 5. And x equals 5 over 5, which is just 1. Okay? And that's two-step algebra.